got some shit in there.
I do. I got my 3.
I think Russ has some shit in his pants right now.
He's definitely shitting pants.
All right, boys. This is episode like 6.
Yes, it is.
It feels like it's been forever.
Yeah, it's because it has been.
It has been. We were supposed to do this.
666.
Supposed to do this on a dad joke out of the gate, man. Just boom.
Hey, it's been a while.
Yeah, we were supposed to do this on the 10th. Why did we move from the 10th?
I was sick.
He was sick.
Oh, yeah.
Just the seasonal cold or something.
Yeah.
No coronavirus.
Extremely odd time to be alive right now.
Yes, it is.
We'll get into that later. But this is the we're going to recap some Myrtle Beach.
We are. Seems like it's been a while already.
Yeah, it's been.
I'm glad we could get this in before we make the trip back down.
been almost 2 weeks.
Goodness.
It was a hell of a trip.
And I'm not going to lie, dude. I miss the fuck out of you guys. I mean, I see this kid all the time, but I miss the shit out of you.
I don't blame you.
You gave me a little
guys-
bit of
you
the
guys
ex-girlfriend vibe. I'm
you
like,
guys want a
Jesus
hug?
Christ, man.
You guys want to hug it out?
Yeah, I do, actually.
So I guess we'll start off. Adam, what did you think overall? So this is my, let's see, I don't know. I've probably been to Myrtle 8 times, and I've been to this resort 3 or 4 now. Your first trip. What do you think?
The Legends Resort was unbelievable. It's crazy how there's one monster clubhouse. Just looks like a, I don't know, 15,000 square foot mansion.
Did you guys only play courses on the resort?
No, we played one off of it.
Okay.
So,
Supposed to be 2, but we played 1.
yeah. So Legends, we'll get into that fact because we ran into some weather issues. But
Yeah.
So Legends Resort, they own 5 courses, 3 of which are on their main property. 2 of them are separate courses that are in other locations. So we were playing all 5 of those courses, including the 3 that are right there on the property. So on the property, they've got, as he said, a massive clubhouse, 3 courses, an enormous driving range, a putting green.
A putting green that's no joke, probably 40 yards by 90 yards.
Oh, really?
At least.
So
It's fucking huge.
the biggest putting green I've seen lengthwise is Penn State. They call it the runway.
Okay.
But I think that's huge. It's like 30. I want to say if it's been forever, but I want to say that putting green was at least like 60, 70 yards, and it was like 10, 12 feet wide.
And let me tell you, this,
Okay.
yeah, this is huge, and there's undulations probably 3-4 feet.
It's huge. Enormous. The best greens ever.
Yeah, you really could hit like almost a full 60-degree wedge from one side to the other.
That's awesome.
No joke. It's huge.
And then there's little like chipping holes, like flags out around it, because you can't chip on the green.
I'm actually pumped to go. Did you book it today?
I did not. I still need to.
I'm actually really
guy.
pumped to go and like just get away, play some golf. I've actually never, as much as I golf, I've never been to Myrtle Beach to play.
That was the first time I've ever been.
I want to say the only time I've ever been south to play golf was I did go to Hilton Head and play. Hilton Head. I went to Hilton Head.
We're gonna need subtitles.
Yeah.
On that one.
Yeah. I played Harbor Town and a few other courses down there. But
Yep.
other than that, I've never been to Myrtle Beach. Some people say I'm crazy. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I actually never really had like a group that was like, hey, we're going to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
It was incredible. Obviously, if the weather would have been a little better, I think we would have been able to get out and do some more things. Driving range was closed pretty much the whole time we were down there. I think we got 2.5 inches of rain on Thursday.
So the first day we were there, they have a huge tractor to pick the range, and it actually got stuck out in the range. So therefore, the range was closed, which is unfortunate because they have stadium lights on it, and your room key, you can just go over to the machine, use your room key, and you get free balls. So you could go over up until I think it's 9 or 9:30.
Oh, that's sweet.
And hit balls under the lights, but unfortunately, it was closed the whole time.
Are we playing any of these courses when we go down?
We certainly could.
Okay.
We need to get you and I need to get with Chris and
We
go
do.
over that. So
We do for sure do.
I would say we could at least pick one of those courses so you could see the place.
Yeah, I'd be down.
So we left Tuesday night, and about in the first hour, the guy that rode down with us, I was driving, Russ is up in the co-pilot, and we're like, Chris, did you watch the podcast from the last one with our bets for the trip? And he's like, no. So he pulls it up, and we get to the Slim Jim bet, and he goes, I bought a box of 45. I was like 45.
Chris brought a whole case of Slim Jims, not knowing about the Slim Jim bet.
That's awesome.
And
They were the small ones.
yeah,
So we made a determination. 3 of those equaled one large
one
one.
of the large ones.
Did you kick into serious mode? Be like, wait, where'd you find a box of 45? Like, I didn't know that existed, and now I need that in my life.
I might have needed it. It was so we drove down, listened to top 3,000 country songs.
We did.
Russ and I missed like 50 through 1 because we were sleeping.
It's the top 100. They just repeated it.
There were songs from all over. It was crazy.
Yeah, Chris knew most of them.
We got a little lost on the way down. We ran some fog that you couldn't see more than 20 feet.
Were you driving when you got lost?
Unfortunately, I was.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we had just crossed into North Carolina. We were coming off at 95, looking for 795, I believe.
Yeah. We got on it.
Chris was in the back sleeping, so it was just he and I, not really knowing exactly where we're going.
At like 4:30 in the morning.
It was just before the sun came up, and no joke, we hit this fog that was so thick you couldn't see 50 feet in front of you.
And it was odd because it was only fog from like 15 feet down to the ground.
we should have the Dumb and Dumber moment. It's like, welcome to Nebraska. Chris wakes up.
Yeah.
You drove a third of the way in the wrong direction.
Yeah, so we hit 795, but then 795 veers off somehow and heads further south, and we didn't see that, and we just kept heading
We missed
east.
the sign, just kept going. As Chris woke up and he was looking around, and Adam pulls the directions up because I'm like, dude, we got to be turning soon, looking for whatever the next route was. And he goes, what road are you on? And I go, I think we're on 795 still. He's like, well, I don't remember what the number was. He's like, no, you're on like Route 11 something.
And Chris has been down there like 35 years in a row. So like he knows his
It's
way
all in
down
his
there.
head,
So
so.
he was sleeping, and we're like, oh boy, we're in trouble now.
So we probably added 30 or 40 minutes to the trip.
So you went 30 minutes and then.
Not really out of the way,
Yeah, just
side roads instead of 4-lane highway.
Oh, okay. That's not terrible.
it wasn't the end of the world. We were still there plenty of
I'd
time.
love to have seen Chris's reaction.
So that reminds me. So our fourth, his name's Brad, is Chris's brother-in-law. So
Okay.
Leanne's brother.
Okay.
He drove. So he lives in Ohio, outside of Columbus. He drove down by himself. I think he got out of work the day before and just left and went down. So he got in town. I don't even know. Somewhere around like midnight or 1 a.m.
I think he said 1 in the morning.
He knows the restaurant that we go to breakfast to. So he went directly to that restaurant.
We thought he was joking, by the way.
In his Jag. He's got a real nice Jaguar. Goes right to the restaurant that's not open. Took some clubs out or something so that he could put the passenger seat down.
Yeah.
Laid down in there.
In his Jag.
Hung some golf towels up to keep the light out and slept in his Jag in the parking lot of this
Myrtle.
breakfast restaurant until we showed up.
This trip is brought to you by Waffle House.
So we show up, and he's just sitting out front of the restaurant in a chair. He's just sitting there hanging out. And we're eating breakfast, and all of a sudden he goes, had a run-in with the West Virginia police. Just out of nowhere.
Oh, man.
And they let him off, but it was just out of nowhere. Had a run-in with the police on the way down.
Yeah. He's a good dude. He's a doctor of some sort and the county coroner, so he does like autopsies and stuff like that. So the whole time we're down there, I mean, if this guy's phone rings,
Chirp, chirp,
even
chirp,
if he's got somebody on call covering for him, he has to answer the phone. Pretty much legally, he has to.
Jeez, that would suck.
Man, dude.
They have to pay him good money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll be on the course, and he's just all of a sudden talking about, some lady's heart medication and what she should be taking.
A couple times he's like putting. He's like talking. He's got it on speaker. Then he says, hold on. He just sits on the ground, hits his putt, picks his phone up, keeps talking. Like nothing was going on.
That sounds like I played with Dwayne this one time, and I was a member at Corning, and we were coming off 14, and obviously at Corning, there's so many little like loops you can go out and play like 3 or 4 holes. We're coming off 14, going to 15. He's on the phone. He sets his phone down. He goes, "You guys care if I play 15 through 18 with you?" I'm like, "Nah, go ahead." "Well, you got to go in, Doc?" "Yeah." He says, "I got somebody in the emergency room." He said, "They got to go in." He goes, "It's a quick procedure. It takes me about 20 minutes, but I got about 24 hours to do it. Or they could die from it, but I want to play these 4 holes real quick." So they're in the emergency room. I told somebody, I'm like, if you're ever in the emergency room and you don't know where the doctor is, he's playing golf.
Yep. So yeah, so we all right, to get into the golf. If you haven't watched episode 4, please go back and 5, excuse me. Please go back and do that. So this was prior to the trip. We made some wagers. Adam came up with some numbers, some over-unders. We didn't really bet on them, but we debated what we were doing.
Correct.
So if you don't understand what we're talking about here for the next whatever,
You have to go back and watch another episode.
go back and watch episode 5,
And
please.
subscribe while you're doing it.
Yeah, subscribe, hit the bell.
Hit that bell
Hit
for
that bell.
notifications.
There you go. All right. So we got, we'll just run through the scores real quick, and then we'll get into the other stuff. So, yeah, the first day, we played Heathland, completely in the rain, and it was probably 45 degrees. So our first round golfing out of the year, we were completely in rain gear.
Does it sound like fun?
It was a little bit of a pain.
Yeah, it was like sprinkled for a while. It wasn't bad. And then we probably had a 7-hole stretch, probably from like 8 to 13 or 14, that it was coming down sideways.
Yeah. To the point where if we weren't on vacation, hadn't just
You'd have
driven
been
all
like,
the
I'm
way,
out.
we would have been out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep that in mind when you hear some of these numbers.
Noted.
So Heathland, first day. Heathland's a par 71. I shot an 87, and Adam shot a 92.
I mean, I started off par, and I was like, sick. This is
Yes, you
awesome.
did.
And then I went triple.
Heathland, we got all the scorecards there.
You almost tied CPG's 8 par streak.
I bet you I had more triples and quads on this
we-
trip than I'll even come close to this year.
Yes, I would agree with that. Yeah, we started on the back 9. Adam 4, 4, 3, 8 with a lost ball.
Yeah. I was set up perfect, too. It was a longer hole. I had to
I
punch
had a
out.
great
but-
lie on the tee. I don't know what happened.
Hey, you know that Polish cut?
Yeah.
It didn't come out anytime.
Although, as I'm looking here, I also had an 8 on that hole.
I think 8 won the hole
and
by
then-
the other 4 of us, just so you know.
And then I tripled the next hole also. So, hey, I hadn't really studied these, actually.
Yardage?
So I start.
Estimated?
We played the whites was 6,300.
We stuck around 63, 64, somewhere in there.
So which was playing long,
Oh, if it's raining sideways.
raining, and like I said, it was about 40, 45 degrees.
And my big issue down there, and the whole trip, and finally by like the last 2 rounds, I figured it out. Because the rough is so dead and dormant,
Yeah.
you can't literally chip out of it.
Yeah.
You can't take your wedge. So you have to just take an 8-iron and bump it. But
Yeah.
it took me
Yeah.
2.5 rounds to figure out don't pull your wedge out of your bag unless you're in the fairway.
Is that DeChambeau's excuse, too?
It might be.
That's the
I'll
grass.
call him and ask him. I mean, because it's so spongy
do.
down there, sand, that it just dug in and then
It's very, very different turf down there, obviously. I will give Adam credit. The last hole of the day, he did birdie that.
Ooh.
oh yeah.
He had a birdie on a, no, that's handicap. Yeah, par 4, he had a 3.
Net 2.
Sure.
Yeah. and let me tell you, if it didn't hit the hole, it was about 20 feet by the hole.
Oh, yeah, I remember that hole.
Hard.
That's where we threw your towel out.
Oh, yeah.
So it's raining all day, okay? This kid, kind of like you, shows up with a full-blown bath towel, shower towel.
What's wrong with that? I've been doing it for years.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll tell you what's wrong with it. Do you ever wash yours?
I washed.
Yeah.
I washed mine.
There is no way you would wash that in the last 5 years.
It might get
I swear to
discolored,
God,
but I throw them in
I
the wash.
washed it before we even left.
He pulled that out of his bag when it started raining, and it got wet and instantly smelled like we were dragging a skunk behind us.
Got mixed with weed in his bag.
And I'm sitting there wiping my hands, wiping my mouth.
He's rubbing it on his face. I'm like, this thing smells like a skunk's ass. And he's rubbing it on his cheek. So the last hole, we knew we were going to have to go home basically the first evening and do laundry. At least throw stuff in the washer, rinse it, and throw it in the dryer because of the rain. He's like, can I throw this towel in with our clothes? I'm like, you can throw that towel in the trees right now. So we're on the cart path going to the last green, and he chucks it right in the trees.
It might be hanging there. So if you guys play Heathland,
Number
Check it out.
9. It was our last hole. If you see
Yeah.
a gray bath towel,
And yes, I do.
you're welcome.
Yeah, I did wash it.
Yeah.
And I don't. Mine are
I
white.
did wash mine,
I
but
get
I
them at
think-
Walmart.
so I think I had used it so much and it smelled, and I just
Kept shoving it in your bag.
No, just washing it wasn't helping. As soon as it got wet, it was done.
There was
I know at one time I went to Walmart and you could get the white ones. They were like $2.50 a piece, and I grabbed just like a stack of them.
Yeah.
And I know at one time it's like I either kept them in my trunk or I had a shelf with them. Just
Yeah.
once in a while, I throw the old one out and grab another one.
Yep. Well, he threw it out in the trees. Sorry for littering Heathland. All right, next score, Moreland. I also put in parentheses, cold, very windy, and his course played extremely long.
And playing by windy, he means like 30 to 40 mile an hour winds.
Yeah.
And we're on the tee, getting ready to tee off. Guy says, have you guys played? And the other three of them say, yeah, we played this. I said, I haven't. He says, you're at the 11th toughest course in the East.
On the East Coast.
I said, okay.
Sounds like a challenge.
Again, these were conditions where if we were up here and I called you, hey, Kyle, you want to go golfing? You would have laughed and hung up the phone. But unfortunately, we had to go out and play.
It was sunny that day, but
Yeah, you're right. I don't have rain wind.
yeah,
written
it
down.
was probably without wind, it probably would have been like 55, 60.
Yeah.
With the wind, it felt like
Wind chill
35 or
was
40.
like 35. So, all right, at Moreland, I posted a 95. Adam posted a 98.
I didn't hit triple digits, though.
Andy had 3 lost balls in that round.
Okay.
We should pause here. So we had mentioned our bets, what we were going to do. So we decided which one of us would win the most rounds. So we played modified 5 rounds. We'll get to that in just a second.
Yep.
Winner, whoever won more rounds, was $10. And then he came up with the idea of totaling our scores for the 5 rounds. However many strokes somebody won by, each stroke was worth $1.
I like that.
So that's what we did going into this.
It wasn't good.
I can't.
It wasn't. It wasn't terrible.
It was decent.
Yeah. Russ isn't complaining.
All right, so that was Moreland.
How's that line, by the way?
So that was
You know what?
that was Friday.
Yeah, I was just going to say
So that was Friday. Thursday we went down to a course called Heritage Club, which was about 45 minutes south.
Yep.
So it was raining when we woke up Thursday morning, and we're like, why don't we'll just go down there and see? I mean, what else do we have to do, right?
Each round comes with tickets for free breakfast. We're like, let's just go down. We'll have breakfast and see
what we can do.
it's
Yeah.
see what it's like.
So we get down there, and the guys are like, there's like one car in the parking lot. Okay, this is at like 8:30 probably 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
We're like, well, there's nobody here. So we're like, let's go in and see it. They're like, hey, yeah, you can go out and play if you guys want. So we went and had breakfast, and so we go out. We get on the first tee, and it's pouring. I'm talking
Downpour.
downpour. So we're like, so we all hit decent shots, and we're like, all right. We get up on the green. I'm probably 35, 40 feet from the hole, and I had a 10-foot wide river to putt through. This is no joke. Standing, I took a full swing with a putter, and my putt went about 10 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, a full swing. That's how wet it was.
There was so much standing water on the green.
Sounds like I didn't realize you guys got that much rain.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Thursday, we got a ton.
It was real bad.
So we're like, let's go. Maybe it's just the first hole because it's kind of lulled. So we're like, let's go see.
We're
so
here.
We get to,
Might as well go see what 2 looks like.
so we get to the second hole. I think it was a par 5.
Yep.
2 double
Yes, it
fairway par 5. We get up on the green. There's just standing water everywhere, and it is still pouring down. Like the hard stuff will be coming later, like like that. So we're like, forget it. Let's go in.
So we drove back after 2 holes.
Is that the day you guys with Top Golf?
Yep.
Yes, we did.
So thankfully we got back. We'd only played 2 holes, even though we hadn't holed a ball on either because of the putting. They gave us full rain check for 18 holes that could actually be used on any of these 5 courses.
Oh, nice.
Which was nice. So yeah, we unfortunately didn't get to play Heritage Club.
It was a very neat looking course. Yeah, really old trees.
Yeah. We'll get to Top Golf maybe at the end of this. We'll discuss that because I know it's something you've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically we didn't get to play. We went back. We had set up a tee time. We already had a tee time for the next day. We set up another one for the afternoon. We were going to play 36.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in just a second. But yeah, we ended up going to Top Golf instead. So
nice.
Which was a blast.
Yeah.
Yep.
So therefore, yeah, the first round Heathland on Wednesday. Thursday rained out. Top Golf. Moreland, we just discussed, was Friday. We had a tee time. They only had another tee time at Heathland. So we were going to play Heathland in the afternoon. The round at Moreland took way too long. so we missed our tee time.
It was like 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
Slow
It was
play.
slow.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking a ton of people on the course. They're doing double tee times, both sides, all 3 courses.
Yes. Yeah.
Morning and afternoon.
Yeah. So, won't get into the details. It was one guy was a slight pain in the ass. Another guy was very helpful. So what we ended up doing was we ended up playing the front 9 at Parkland. So we played 18 in Moreland, and then we went directly to Parkland and played the front 9. So we played 27 holes that day. For our betting purposes, we decided to use that 9 hole as another round.
Gotcha.
So on that 9 at Parkland, I shot a 46, and Adam shot a 48 with 0 lost balls.
Ooh.
That was a big one.
So that was that.
Obviously, the score wasn't good, but I didn't lose any balls.
No. This was, I think around this time, Marcus had texted me and asked just how golf was going. And that's when I replied to you guys that, the full swing was working, but putting those greens, as big and undulating as they are and as wet as it was not ideal conditions for your first round trying to putt a golf ball.
I don't know. Obviously, we didn't keep it stat, but I'm guessing at least 3 putted. I don't think I 4 putted. I think I 3 putted. I'm going to say 22 times. It was...
No argument here.
In 18 holes?
No. It was... I've never seen... I don't know. And obviously, we're not... Up here, we're not used to having 30-yard putts.
These greens are enormous.
Yeah, we got a lot of smaller greens up here.
We do. Yep.
Some of the bigger greens we deal with, it's probably Twain.
Yeah.
And that's Quarry Creek.
I'm thinking you picture the one green 12 at the country club specifically, how big that one is. That's probably the average green down
Just
there.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was... And obviously, in 12 with 15 different humps in it.
Yeah.
So...
Sounds like you're all ready for Quarry Creek.
I'm ready. Chris, I hope you're ready.
It's going to be a good time. Sam, he's staying at Barry's
Yeah,
house
Sam.
at least Saturday night with
Yep.
us. Just, I don't know if you watch
He
this,
also
Sam.
needs a loan and quarters for AC
Yeah.
Deucey.
I got plenty of
Plenty
quarters.
AC Deucey. All right. So the next day we had our tee time at Parkland. Again, we played the front 9, went back, played the whole course the next day. That was already scheduled. Parkland, I finally kind of found my groove a little bit. So
I got. No, I'll save it for later.
you leaned in there like you were going to comment.
I was going to save it for later.
Right. So Parkland, I shot an 84, and Adam posted a 92.
Let me tell you. I'll say it now. His driver, the way he was hitting his driver, there was no. I couldn't beat him.
That's true.
I literally couldn't beat him.
I
It was.
I appreciate the credit
I
there.
have one question. Do you think you're playing with kids?
I thought I was. Yeah, he could not miss his driver.
Coming out of the gate, first rounds of the season, I've never hit my driver that well. I probably hit 85% of the fairways.
Did the opposite today. Like, as my day went on today, like, not to get too off topic, but
Yeah, no,
played 9
okay.
holes, and like, first hole, like, I just stood up and thinned it, found the fairway,
Yeah.
and then I just started going right. And then as the day went on, it just got straighter and straighter.
My driver and my full swings were actually working. If I could have chipped and putt, I probably could have been around 80 in all 5 of these rounds.
And in this round, they were still a 35, 40 mile wind. So we teed off that morning at 10 a.m. We were the last or second to last tee time in the morning.
For the morning, yep.
And the sun was out. We looked at our phone. I think Chris looked at his phone before we teed off. The wind chill was 25.
Yep.
I would have stayed in bed.
It was, but the sun was, sun was out. But yeah, the wind Saturday was also a day of 35, 40 mile an hour winds.
Thankfully, Parkland, so I know you haven't been there, but Heathland and Moreland are kind of next to each other in a very open area. Parkland is one of those that you got like individual holes that go out.
Yeah, I
within
play courses like
housing.
that. Yeah.
And
So
it's all between houses and everything.
Yeah.
So at least some of the wind was died
it
down,
was
but
blocked out by some of the wind.
If we get speaking of like holes like by themselves, if we ever get a free weekend, you guys want to take a road trip, let me know.
where are we going?
Yes.
Wilmington, Delaware. We'll go down and play with Bianco
Okay.
at White Clay Creek. Sweet course.
Let's do it.
Sweet course. By the way, this is our first sponsor. I've been meaning to mention this. We got a sponsor.
We do?
Oh.
Yeah, Joe's Online Gym. Look up Joe on Facebook. He's the owner and operator of Joe's Online Gym.
Okay.
Well, you don't have to go to the gym.
You
just
have to go online right now.
don't buy a membership. Just send Joe your $20 instead, because you're not going to go to the gym. So
I like that.
Joe's Online Gym. Joe, if you watch this, you owe us all a beer. All right. Moving forward.
I like it.
Yeah.
So at that round, we also had 3 lost balls for Adam.
Yeah. Hole 2. Not good.
We had.
I think it was hole 2, right?
It was.
Yeah, I think hole 2. Both days.
Yeah. So hole.
Both times we played Parkland.
Oh yeah, 2.
Was there any point you were like, when he lost the ball, you were like, oh boy, not another one? Like,
well, we threw a separate bet into the last day, but we'll get to that.
I'll mention that one in a second. Yeah. So hole 2, Adam. Let's see. It's a relatively straight par 4. Plays,
which is the problem for me, right?
438 yards. So even I hit a pretty good drive there, and I was still hitting like a 2-3 iron into it. So it was playing very long.
Beefy.
Yeah. Adam posted an 8. That's a quad. He did lose a ball on that one, and we had some slight tricky Ricky moments where I thought we were going to be paying for a driver, a 2 iron, and potentially the gas pedal on a cart.
No way.
It wasn't pretty.
Yeah.
I was not feeling it.
Come on, it's the first rounds of the year.
I know, but it was.
You got to go into it with 0 expectations just because of that.
I was this close to having to go into Big Brother mode and tell him to straighten his shit out. I'll be honest with you. All right.
Hey, Rick, you still going to use that wedge?
Yeah.
I want the picture I sent you guys today.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have any. I think Russ was hoping I broke my driver so we could go back to Superstar again.
Oh, yeah.
That instantly hit the over.
All right, so we're going to combine a couple stories into this last round. So last round was on Sunday, which was the morning before we drove home. So we had like an 8:20 tee time. We wanted to play early so we could get on the road.
Yeah.
Oyster Bay is up in Calabash, North Carolina. It's about 45 minutes north of the resort we were staying at.
So it's kind of on your way home.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why we planned it this way.
Is it included in your package, like with the
Correct.
Legends?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Legends.
Really?
Legends owns this course.
They own this course too.
Oh, that's cool. So it's not like everything's right there.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we got up there, had our breakfast. Again, they include breakfast with everything.
We left the condo at 6:30 that morning. By the way.
Yeah, we did.
It was early.
It was still dark.
And daylight savings, so we lost an hour of sleep.
We did not plan.
And the
that.
night before, we ate a
about that.
ton of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, we did.
Can't hate you for that either.
Yeah. So we got up there, and it was cold. They had frost warnings and everything overnight, which we knew might screw us a little bit. So it was about 6:15. I went out to start your car up because we had packed the night before, and I couldn't see anything. The windshield, all the windows were covered in frost. I'm like,
This doesn't look like a morning for golf.
in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Yeah.
So we got up there, and unfortunately, there was a frost delay. Thankfully, their morning tee sheet wasn't packed, so it wasn't like you had this huge group that got pushed back.
Right.
It was mainly just us. A couple groups that were supposed to go out first, got delayed, and then we were still kind of leading the pack out.
Right.
This is where, how do I say this? We were in having breakfast. There was a large table of
Women.
8 Korean women
Okay.
in there.
So remember, we're trying to play as quick as we can this day so that we can get on the road.
We're trying to play fast.
Oh my
to
God.
get
I think
out
I know
there.
where this is going. Carry on.
So frost delay was, I don't know, roughly 40 minutes.
At least I think it was probably at least 9 o'clock when we teed off.
Yeah. So we were supposed to be 8:20. I think we got over to talk to the starter around 9.
Yeah.
And we were waiting.
Who's from New York? Dude, everybody's from New York down
Yeah,
there.
they
It's
are.
weird.
They are.
Everyone you talk to,
yeah.
somewhere in New York, they're from.
So, not to be too stereotypical, but we were hoping to be in front of this group so that we could move right along.
Listen, if you mean by stereotypical, women play slow golf, you are not. That is fact.
Well,
Okay.
That is, I'm sorry, it's fact. And you wouldn't want to come at me. We can go out and see how long it takes you to play 9 holes.
let me tell you, you wouldn't have beat these ladies. Run the course.
Speed-wise.
Yeah.
The first group. So we started on the back
The
nine.
first one, not the second one.
Started on the back 9. Their first group goes off. No problem. We're standing there talking to the starter, shooting the shit with him. Second group goes off. We don't think anything of it. We're not really paying attention. And then we go off.
So this first hole, you tee off over a swamp, par 4. It goes up the hill. So not even probably our second shots, we weren't even up to see the green. So
Right.
it's just uphill.
Yeah. So we could finally see that group clearing, the group that we were in front of. So we're like, all right, they played the hole relatively quickly, not too bad.
And you're always up someone's ass to start the round.
Yeah,
Right.
And
If
this
there's someone in front of you.
and this is another course where most of it is spread way out into the houses and whatnot.
Right.
And I've played there a couple times, so I somewhat know the layout. So we get on the 10th green. Again, we started on 10. We get on 10th green. We're putting. And I look over at Adam and I go, isn't that the women in front of us? And he's, yeah, it has to be them. We all just started. There they are, buzzing down the 18th hole.
He goes, I think that's 18.
The first group?
So we don't know at this point.
It was one of those two groups. So they had two
Foursomes.
foursomes.
Right.
So it was one of them.
But you never waited for the group in front of you?
No, we did. They both teed. We saw them both tee off,
Their first group teed off. Their second group teed off.
and then we
teed off. We get on the green. We don't see one of their groups, and their other one's coming down 18 already.
So we're like, so Russ is like, I think that's 18 if I'm not mistaken. I was like, well, I've never played. I have no idea where we're going.
I'm pretty sure 11 goes out across the road, but I don't know how clear the signage is or whatever. So I'm thinking, okay, we're going to get up here. They're going to realize they're on the wrong hole, turn around, want to get in front of us, and we're going to have another 15-minute delay here. But so we get done putting. We drive down cart path over near the tee box that they just came off of. Sure enough, 11th hole with a huge arrow pointing this way. They decided to play 18 that way. So
we're like, shoot, let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
I wouldn't
go
wait
as
for
quick
him.
as we can.
So we went to 11. We played 11. We got on the
So when we get on the 11th tee, the first group was already teeing off 12. No, they were almost on the 12th green.
Yes.
Almost on the 12th green.
So they're moving.
2 holes ahead, so they're flying.
Yeah.
So we're like, all right, that's fine. We'll just keep playing.
Yeah. So we played 11. We get on the 12th tee box, and we see the starter coming up. And we had shot the shit with this guy for a good 10 minutes, and he was a really, really good guy. He goes, he didn't even get up to us and get out of the cart yet. And I go, hey, do you know where the next tee box is? He just started laughing his ass off. He goes, I'm pretty sure there's a big sign back there that tells you where 11 is, right? And he goes, yeah, but it's not in English. Or it is in English. I go, all right, that's a fair point. So next thing we know, the second group come buzzing up behind us, and to their credit, they didn't try to push through, play
No,
through
they
us.
didn't. They did pass us at the turn because they'd already played 18, so they didn't play it again.
So they played 17. We got in the clubhouse, went in and grabbed a drink and a bite to eat, and they went on up with their group. It was just comical to be standing on the 10th green, and I'm like, that's definitely them.
Yeah, because I was like, well,
maybe.
maybe it's not, maybe it's not well laid out or something. But you get there, it just says 11 T straight ahead.
There was a clear sign telling you where to go. Just part of our comic relief. To the scores.
Yeah.
So, Oyster Bay, I ended up shooting a 90, and Adam got me with an 89.
Cha-ching.
Oh,
That's $1.
So,
don't spend it all at once.
the night prior, we knew his total lost balls, because we had talked about that over-under, which we had to modify. It didn't quite apply because we had a 9-hole round in there.
Yeah.
Okay. And the 9 at Parkland that we didn't play that day, the following day, you did lose 2 balls.
Correct.
There. So that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Although I was nowhere near what you guys thought I was going to lose.
What was it? It was 12 and a half, right?
12 and a half was his number.
And I took the over.
We both did, yep. So prior to this round, we had determined his over-under for this was going to be 3.5, just for fun.
Just for a separate.
Just for Oyster Bay. So we determined that the night before. So 10, we started on 10. We get to 14, lost ball in the water.
Yeah, I just blocked it right.
No way, not right.
220. Just, I was scared. The Gators started
we did
coming.
Finally see some Gators there.
They started coming. I got scared.
So that was 14. 15, short par 3, all over water. Lost ball in the water. So he's already.
I did hit it over land. It just went way right too.
Again?
Correct. So we are 6 holes into this round, and mind you, we said 3.5 was his over/under.
Yep.
So he's already up to 2. So I told him, if he hit the under, if he stayed on the under, then I would eliminate the $1 per stroke bet.
So I could only lose one more ball the rest of the day.
Yep. So 16, nothing. 17, short par 3 over water, lost ball.
Wedge, lay the side over it.
I thought I hit it. I thought I had it. You know what? If my tee shot was no joke, 5 feet right, I was dry.
He actually had reasonable.
It's an island green.
He actually had reasonable distance.
I thought I hit it.
That was a
Tin cup move. I got this shot, Rose. Give me another ball.
I swung it.
So he's up to 3 just on the first 9 that we played, and we make the turn around to number 1. Number 1 was a little chaotic.
I don't remember that one. Oh,
That's that short ball with the water.
I did lose a ball there. I hit it. It goes downhill and turns left, and there's a sand trap left of the fairway. But it's a short hole. I hit 3 wood. I didn't know what to hit. So Russ hit driver, and we thought he went long because too far right. Yeah, he hit it dead straight
into the water.
But it turns so far left that he hit it in the water. So I had hit 3 wood just left of this bunker.
And he was hitting his driver good. We heard that earlier.
Yeah,
It's true.
Yeah.
So I hit 3 wood. We couldn't find my ball. We had no clue where it was. Yeah. So I had a big lost ball there.
So that brought the total for that round to 4, and did not eliminate the $1 per stroke bet because he hit the over.
Then the next hole, I skipped about 10 skipper over the water too.
He did. I wish as soon as you hit that, I wished we'd had the camera out on that. So I know we didn't take as many videos as we'd hoped down there.
Yeah, it was.
That was
great weather.
simply because of the weather.
The rain was. We took a few. We got quite a few videos. And
We should hire a camera crew to go down with us.
Yeah, we'll definitely upload some of those videos.
But yeah, hole number 2, which was our 11th hole, he hit a low bullet that skipped off the water and still made it to the other side. So I wish we'd had the camera out on that one.
Planned it that way.
Yeah.
Well, it was windy, right?
Yeah.
Just keeping it under the way.
Kept it low. Just try and run it. Wait, and let me tell you, that fairway. So I walked across my ball. I hit a hybrid up near the green. I'm coming to walk back. My shoes and socks got a cleaning. Dude, there was, I bet you the ground went down about 2.5 inches. Yeah. Just walking across the fairway.
There was so much.
I was like,
water out
what
there.
am I doing right now?
It reminds me of my favorite
Trying to tiptoe, trying to dance across the fairway.
Sweet Lou stories, where you've probably heard this
Country
one.
Club Lou.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was at our home course playing one time. He was on number 4, and that's your girl.
Yeah, how'd that work out for me?
Yeah.
I Paige Van Zandt.
He was on number 4, and some guy. It was summertime. The water had receded a little bit, and the guy hit it in the pond, and the guy was standing there looking at it, and you could see the ball, but it was kind of out of reach of like a golf club or anything. And Lou walked into the pond to thigh high water, grabs the golf ball, walks back out of the pond, and throws it to the guy. And the guy's just looking at him. He goes, "It's okay. My shoes are waterproof."
Dude, it was like I said, obviously we got a ton of rain down there, so it was wet. A lot. It was really wet. Everything played really long.
Yeah. So, anyways, to sum up some of these bets, so I won 4 rounds to 1. We had talked about strokes over par for you betting. You had said 72.5.
Yeah,
I was close.
Adam, his 5 round, and mind you,
4.5 rounds.
one of these was a 9-hole round. Adam hit 419 minus par, which was 98 over par.
Oh, I was somewhere in the middle.
I kept it under 100 though. I would have shot even on that other 9. I would have had it.
Another 9, and there was an 18 holes you didn't play, right?
No, just 9 we didn't play. We played 4.5 rounds.
Because
we played 27
the day we got rained out.
Yeah.
The next day we played
Just
27.
So we played
So
4.5.
we were only 9 holes short.
Well, let me tell you,
So I hit the over.
I tore up
Yeah.
Top
So-
Golf though, so we're good.
Yeah, you were correct with the over. The number was under what you estimated. And the lost ball bet, you had said 12.5.
Yeah.
We ended up at 11 total lost balls.
ooh, I took the over and said 26.
Yeah.
So that would have been interesting had we played another 9.
Correct.
The pressure, I would have made sure the pressure was in your
I would have
head.
been, I would have been in the car and be like,
As soon as
how many you got left in your bag?
he's teeing it up. Adam, you're 11 lost balls.
I had plenty of balls. There was no worry there.
Yeah, we had a lot of golf balls. So those are the numbers for the trip.
We haven't talked about the one I want to know.
Yeah, that's true.
Which one do you want to know?
So I did the talking here. He's got a couple more updates.
I want to hear about the PGA Superstore. The over was $649.99, and I took the over.
So we went to breakfast, obviously, and eat, and they're like, it was like, I don't know what time it was. We probably finished breakfast like 10:15 or so.
Somewhere in that range.
And we're like, let's run the Superstore for a little bit. It's literally a mile up the road. So we like pulling, and Russ is like, are you ready? I'm like, I'm ready.
I love it. You're prime. Yeah. Did you bring that credit card?
His pants were getting tight. Yeah.
So I walk in and I'm like, I didn't know what to do. So obviously Russ had told us it was our dicks filled up, like with just golf stuff.
Or what?
He could not have said that more awkwardly.
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Filled with golf stuff. I walk in this. It had to have been 4 of them. This place is. Even when we walked in, Russ goes, I guess it's a little bigger than I thought.
That's what
so
she
we
said.
walk in. So the first, I'm not even joking. The first 25 minutes, I didn't know what to do. I just walked around. I had no clue.
When you think about the classic statement, a kid in a candy store when they're lost, I mean, that was this.
They're running into walls.
He did not know where to go first.
I was all over the place.
Does the store come with a map? A tour guide?
I needed one. So that first trip, I purchased 2 wedges, a hat, and 4 dozen TP5X balls, which came in 1 pack. Hell of a deal. 4 dozen for $135, I think. I'm stocked for the year. I'm good to go.
I would be, but someone forgot.
Yeah.
That's all right. We're going down.
Yeah, you're gonna be there in 2 months. You're good. And then we went to dinner.
You have these items with you, don't you?
I do.
Okay.
I could bring.
I thought you might want a van of white. I'm showing
We could bring the wedges, maybe. Let's see what we got here.
Which ones did you get? You got the black ones?
We got the old Callaway wedges.
Are these the new ones?
These are the new
Yeah,
ones.
these are the new Jaws MD5s.
Got a 52 and a 58. I was looking for the SM8s. They didn't have them. We were confused. Just so happens when we went back on Friday, they got released Friday, and they had a couple hundred of them.
How do they look? As good as they looked?
I think they look fine. The backs obviously look a little different, but I think they look good.
Do they look
the same color as those, the dark ones? I think they look really good.
How do they feel though? Because Vokey went through a couple year stretch where their wedges, I felt like felt chintzy and fake.
I didn't pick them up because I already bought 2, so I wasn't going to tempt myself to buy.
You know what I'm talking about though? They're like the SM like 2s or whatever.
2s and 3s were not their best work in my opinion.
Yeah.
I actually didn't go over and look at the 8s, so I didn't.
Yeah, because when we went the second time, I think we had like 20 minutes till the store closed, so we were like running around.
About 20 minutes before store closing, they got on the PA system and announced it, and then checking out was a.
So the second trip, I bought just a shirt and a hat.
Damn.
So
the big factor in this was they did not have the new Scotty Cameron putters yet, and I'm guessing because they're both Titleist products, they may have. I didn't check the second trip.
They did not have them. I did check.
So they just didn't get them in.
So they had
some demo ones of the new ones, which actually said demo on the engraved on the front, stamped in the front of into the face of the putter.
Not even just a sticker.
That's weird.
Yeah. So that's all they had. They didn't have any of the new putters. So I was surprised. So we did come under by about $80.
What?
That was without tax. With tax, it was still under. But obviously, the big factor was.
Damn, how much are these wedges? They're like $1.35 a piece.
More than that.
They're up to like 154
150,
something like that.
Yeah.
You can't find can't find a wedge from this year that's like under 150 now.
Right.
Because we talked about that. I remember when wedges used to be like 120.
Like 109, I think, for years was the standard price.
That was after tax.
Yep. Yeah. So we already talked about lost balls, total score, obviously.
Slim Jims.
Russ won the rounds. Slim Jims. So like we said, Chris brought a box of 45 small ones.
That's fantastic.
So let me tell you
I
what I got here.
kept asking him every like 20 miles. Hey, you need a Slim Jim, buddy?
Oh, he's got some tonight.
So
No, I do not.
We decided
I kept all wrappers.
the first ones
Proof?
the first ones he ate. He's like, "Is our garbage bag?" I'm like, "Dude, just keep them all in there, and then we'll count them on air when we're done."
So we got 1, 2,
The over under was 6.5.
Trace, Quattro. That's all I had brought with me. So then we got into the tiny ones. So remember, we said 3 equals 1. I think those are out of there. And we have another only 6 wrappers here, which equals 2 Slim Jims.
I'd ask
So
if you ran out of Slim Jims, but we know better because Chris had us.
Yeah. It ended up I had 6 Slim Jims.
He literally bought that box that's like, I think it had 45 in them. 45 in the little ones.
And you had one of those things, you like open the thing and it just like kind of bends open, so you're like reach your hand in and grab them out.
Oh, man.
It was
So when we get in the condo, he just sets them on the counter, and obviously it was only on the trip down and the trip back. So I did end up having more than 6.5, but
It felt on the trips that he was determined to hit the under.
See, that's what I'm just thinking.
And I kept like waving him in his face, like, "You sure you don't need a Slim Jim, dude?"
I had a ton of beef jerky, which was probably I think we all brought about
All of
4
us
bags of beef
brought
jerky.
I think we should have set the over-unders and not told him what they were.
Yeah,
And
that
then
might have
just
been better.
kinda-
that would be the way to do it next time. Yeah,
Next year.
Oh.
Corey Creek.
Oh.
I tend to
Corey
like
Creek.
beef jerky.
Over-under, you're
Slim
going to
Jims
lose an AC-doozy.
Slim Jim's hard to eat when you're golfing.
Marcus,
Club slipping on your hand.
bring your quarters.
Yeah.
And bring your game.
Don't think that's going to be a problem.
All
All right, let's get those out of there.
So unders on the Slim
Guy
Jim.
breaks
right.
100 Myrtle Beach. He calls out Marcus.
So then the last one was balls lost versus number of items purchased total for the trip. So we lost 11 balls, obviously, and we had 15 items purchased, which actually would have been close. I bought a ton of like poker chip ball markers, which I have a couple here. Kyle,
You going all in over there?
you get to choose what color you want here. I got you one
Ooh.
from the Legends Resort.
Ooh.
So we got a purple
Still got one in my car from the Hilton or
from
Nag's Head.
Nag's Head.
Yeah.
We got a purple, black and pink, blue, green and black, and an orange.
Let's go black and red. Is
Black,
that what it is?
No, black and pink.
I'll take that one. I think I might have some other ones. Ooh.
There we go. So we got the Legends logo on one side, and then the Myrtle Beach logo.
Yeah, so Heritage. I got a poker chip of Heritage too. Oyster Bay didn't have any; they were out of them. So I would have got one if they did have some.
Did you say they were out of them or didn't have them? So
They were out of them.
They've never had them.
So
since I've
he
been
said
there.
they have them, but they're just on order.
Do we need to order these in the 3-star recruit logo?
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea at all.
Could look it up. Which, by the way, what do you guys think of the new logo, new hats?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got new
I like
hats
that.
on. Well, Russ doesn't have.
I got one here.
Russ has got his here.
Did you pick up the other ones?
Not yet.
Okay.
I've been quarantined at home.
Oh, yeah, well. I've had some requests for hats, so I think we'll probably put an order in. I've promised a couple of the people that are close friends to ours that they can just have them, but I think I've gotten to the point where, like,
At some point, we got to quit giving out free shit.
yeah, it's nice, but yeah. Got some cash wrapped
Cash
up in
is
some merchandise right now, so yeah, we'll figure it out.
So and then one big piece of trip. Obviously, we mentioned we got rained out Thursday, so we're like, what do we do? So we went back. Obviously, we were soaked. I had rain pants on. My pants were soaked.
He had like wind pants from 1995.
That might be.
They weren't rain pants.
Hey, well,
Straight out of an MC Hammer video.
hey, either way, they blocked the wind. Let me tell you.
I'm sure they did.
The next 2 days,
Can't touch
They
this.
didn't stop the rain though.
couldn't touch me there.
Yeah, he answered
So-
the age-old question.
So-
Who stopped the rain?
I bought,
Not at him.
so Heritage Club, before I went out and played, I bought a brand new FootJoy rain jacket, the full blown weatherproof one with their logo on it, and then we played 2 goddamn holes.
At least it'll last you a while.
I think Chris is the. I bought a raincoat down there as well, and I think Brad did as well. I think Chris is the only one that didn't buy a raincoat when we were
Yeah, Brad
down
bought
there
one the
waiting.
last day. Or no.
At Heritage Club, he did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
But
that's probably my only regretful purchase on the trip.
It'll last you.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
It's like a charcoal gray with red down the sides. I liked it.
So we got rained out. So we went back to the room, and so we're like, on the way back, we're like, what do we do? So a Top Golf had just opened in Myrtle a year ago, 1st of March of 2019. So we're like, should we go? So I started looking it up. I'm like, guys, it's only like $47 a bay per hour.
That's actually cheap.
So we're like, that's not bad.
Because we were in Vegas, they wanted $120.
Yeah.
You're like, well, if you want to sign up to the casino, it's $5 off an hour. I'm like, oh,
So obviously, we're like, we'll schedule so we got a reservation for 2:30. So we went back to the room and back to the condo and kind of dried off and put some stuff in the dryer because we were soaked. Kind of got changed, just hung out, watched golf, and then we the Honda was on at the time, so we're watching that.
Big
And yep. And so so then we're like, all right, time to go. So we go to Top Golf. So we're like, should we bring clubs? We didn't end up taking any of our bags with us.
look at this. I ordered these like 10 minutes ago.
What do we got here?
Oh,
Yeah.
We have a special guest,
coming down.
our first ever guest.
Allie, come on. Come on.
Oh, she says she's not
scared.
coming on camera.
But we have Bud Light seltzers coming.
Although she has her own podcast.
If you guys like Survivor,
Yeah.
Lemon lime was good. I will
You
say.
want another
that.
one?
Do you want to try one?
I'll have whatever. I drink everything.
Which
We
one
have
you
black
have?
cherry and strawberry.
I'll take a black cherry this time,
All right.
if you don't mind.
Oh, and on the trip, I had a Pink Whitney and Bud Light seltzer. Well, Fizz Nasty.
Nope. Shout
Pretty
out to
good.
Spit and Chicklets boys.
So we ended up going to Top Golf, and so like I said, we didn't bring our bag. After we decided,
So-
we probably should have brought at least one bag to hit someone's like driver.
So that was our big debate: is do we bring our clubs or not? So we'd never been there. I'm a little picky about hitting my driver on like driving range balls.
Yes.
Crappy
Yes.
driving range balls. So we decided to not take our clubs. We were just going to wing it. So we got there, and they basically have a couple of men's clubs and a couple of ladies. They have a driver, a 3-wood.
Hybrid, right?
It's kind of a
high
maybe
wood,
like a
hybrid
3-wood
thing.
hybrid, and then they have even clubs. So they had a 4, 6, 8, and a pitching wedge. Those are the only clubs, and they're all graphite shafted. So
Ooh.
Yeah.
once we got used to them, they actually weren't
Too bad.
for what we were doing.
You can take your own clubs in
Oh,
there, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, people are in there full blown shoes on.
Probably half the guys there.
And there was a sign on the door before, because you're inside and then you walk outside, obviously, to where you hit from. And there was a sign that said, "Watch out for errant balls and clubs." I didn't know what was going on out there.
So put that on the list of things to do when we go down. 'cause
Yeah.
I've never done it. So
I told Chris that we should probably plan a day to just go do that instead.
And everyone can do it. It was
even if you play in the morning and go do it in the afternoon, or just play 9 holes in the morning and go do it in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I think
so-
Allie would enjoy it, and she doesn't really want to play
Yeah,
golf.
yeah, because you can. My wife has no golf gene in her body, but she went and did it a few weeks ago down in Charlotte, and
It was a good time.
She enjoyed it. So.
The only thing I would do different, and unfortunately it was packed there because of the rain.
Yeah.
So we waited about an hour.
Yeah.
We ended up with one of the bays on the bottom, so they
Right
have
on
3
top.
stories. If I could do it again, I would request to not be on the ground floor.
And I think one of the couple of reasons. One, you could see the targets easier from up above, and number 2, when you're there for 5 hours, it gets dark, and then they start lighting up the targets and music playing.
Yeah, I think the whole thing would just look cooler from an aerial.
you went later at
an
night,
aerial
too.
view.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
and they're open till, I think Friday and Saturday they're open till like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
yeah. So
Drunk City.
we're like, oh, let's just sign up for 2 hours, and we're like, well, how do we extend if we want to? And the guy's like, oh, to just pop up on the screen. You'll follow the directions. So we're like, okay.
I think it was with 15 minutes left. It pops up and
Yeah.
asks you if you want to add more time.
So we played a couple different. They have, I don't know, 9, 10 different games you can play.
Mm-hmm.
So we played. We just played. You just hit the ball and get points. You hit it in targets or hit the back net. And then we got into one called Top Pressure, where it picks a target. One target. I think that was the name. Top Pressure was the one where we just hit to the one target, and you had to hit 9 different sections of that target. So you couldn't just keep hitting the same spot. You had to hit all 9 sections. Yep.
Yeah,
And you got points.
Yeah, and they were the yellow ones, right? They were only
Correct.
They were only 40 or 50 yards away, so it was kind of like a half pitch shot trying to.
Oh, okay.
So you had to hit every section, and then whoever closed it out first in under 30 shots, wins. Yep. So we all got down to only needing one spot left. All four of us. We only needed the 4 spot in the target. It was a blast. We were having a blast. So the thing pops up, and I'm like, all right, let's extend. So we extended for like another hour. So we're playing a different. We played even like top scramble. Russ and I played. Chris and Brad. You basically the two of us, and you each hit 20 shots. But so Russ and my first ball, whoever had the higher point total, it took that one.
Yeah, almost like a best ball scenario.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So we played that, and we extended for another hour. We just kept going. Next thing we know, we're like 3-4 pitchers deep, food, just golfing.
So we ended up.
It was pretty cheap though.
Yeah, we ended
considering
up
everything.
Like I said, we waited about an hour. We didn't really order food or drinks or anything prior because we thought the bay was going to be ready in like 10 minutes.
Right.
Had we known it was an hour, we would have sat down and had some drinks. But so we waited that hour, and then I think we ended up with 5 hours total playing. So we were there about 6 hours total. Multiple pitchers. We basically the equivalent of appetizers. We just ordered a shit ton.
That's
of
right. You
those.
told us when we cornhole that one night.
Yeah,
it wasn't really that bad per
Yeah,
person.
I think each of our bills were like $87.
Yeah.
For 5 hours.
For 5 hours entertainment.
Right.
You can't beat that.
No.
And you think about a golf course down there, just to go golf down there
Is
over
more-
$100
is more than
$100
that.
bucks. So
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
it was pretty cool.
One thing cool at Top Golf, they have a little merchandise area, so they seem to have partnered up with that Black Clover Live Lucky brand. So we ended up each buying a hat. There was another hat that I really liked, but I have a giant head, so it didn't fit me.
Big melon.
So we ended up grabbing that for you,
Hey.
so you can be our caddy.
Nice.
So we got your hat down there.
Thanks, brother. Look at that.
Yep.
Caddy. Do I have to let Adam borrow this when he caddies for me?
Yeah. Hey, that's up to you.
Yeah, we
whatever agreement you guys have.
We should do that again. I gotta be better.
You got to find a bib this time. We got to be more prepared.
Yeah. I was not good the last time I caddied.
Oh, well. That was my fault, though.
Yeah, we had a hell of a trip. Got back at like 1:30 in the morning. Ran into some traffic in D.C.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, that was.
Although we had that Easy Pass. We hit those Easy Pass
Oh,
express
that's
lanes.
the best, dude.
Whew.
We'll yeah, don't go too far into that. We got 3 stars coming, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
don't go too far into
We
that.
doing 3 stars now?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Oh, we can do that now.
Yeah.
You done
Yeah.
with Myrtle Beach?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a good trip.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I can't wait to go down, dude. That's why I texted you today. I'm like, we have to do this.
We had already, being down there, we already started like, hey, what courses do we want to play next year?
Yeah.
So there's a couple called like, I forget. Chris calls them the cat courses, but
Yeah, the big cats, Leopard Chase. I can't remember. They're up a little further north. Then there's also Barefoot Landing, which is the one I'd like to look at. They partnered with 4 big names. They have 4 courses, and each one of them designed a course there. So there's Greg Norman, Fazio, Pete Dye, and Davis Love III.
Nice.
So that would be on my list.
right.
So
Yeah, I'd be down for that. I'm up for anything, honestly. Just want to play golf. I was so pumped. I didn't even plan on playing golf today. And Tricky texted me at probably like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Just came and played 9 holes after work. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. I got to work until 4:30. He's like, we can get 9 in. I'm like, you know what? He's right. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to go play.
Yeah, he had texted me too. I knew I was going to be at work, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Probably 5:30. Otherwise, I would have joined you. And it's still early in the year, so once we get going, my golf bag and usually a set of golf clothes are always in my truck.
Right.
Unfortunately, I'm not at that point.
Right.
So.
And it stays daylight just a little bit longer.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
A little warmer.
Yeah. So.
So
All right.
3 stars.
3 stars.
Kyle, you want to go first? I'm curious what Kyle's 3 stars are. Mine are all related to Myrtle. So.
Well, actually, I have one person on here twice.
Okay.
But I'm going to say I'm going to make an exception. I'd like to read all these. So I got 5 stars total.
Go for it.
Let's
Because
go
it's
for
been a couple weeks,
I'm in.
I'll just share my stars.
I like it.
So my first one, I'm going to go Sunjae M, who won the Honda Classic.
Yep.
He's from South Korea. And the reason I'm going to pick in Sunjae M is, do you guys remember Sang Moon Bae, who was like top 15 in the world rankings and got absolutely screwed, in my opinion? Some will say, well, it's their culture, but in my opinion, in this day and age, that shit's got to go. I'm sorry. He was made to leave the PGA Tour because he had mandatory military service.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, he's come back. I don't think he's fully back. I mean, he took 2 years off, basically. But Sung J M won, and the only way he can avoid this mandatory military service is if he makes the Olympic team.
Oh, okay.
Because he falls under the category as being an Olympian, so they don't make them do that, basically.
Yeah.
Well, he might have extra time.
Well, I was going to say the tough part about that is
Now the season's like postponed.
we might not have the Olympics.
Yeah.
So that's, to me, that's the only major event upcoming that they haven't really talked about.
Correct.
Whether or not that's being
Right.
And it's obviously it's the
postponed.
furthest one out, too.
July.
So it's-
Yeah. So, yeah, I like that one. I like that. My third star of the week, I'm going to take a completely different direction on this.
I can't wait.
Actually, 2 of these stars are related to Route 95 around Washington, D.C. I don't know what that means, but we were coming home Sunday and heading north. Hi, Allie.
Allie's back.
Allie's back.
She
Back
doesn't.
again.
She doesn't have drinks in her hand.
So, no, she doesn't.
Just piece of paper.
So we were coming home, and I could see on the southbound lane some police lights on the other side, which is not at all unusual on Route 95. The cops are all over the
true.
place.
At this point, we were in Virginia, right? We were in Virginia.
Yeah, we were still in Virginia. We were not
Yeah.
in D.C.
Yep.
So, yeah, we were in Virginia. I see cops. Your curiosity gets piqued. You always look over.
Absolutely.
As we get closer, I see 2 cop cars, and it's just 2 cop cars. That's all I see. Because usually you see those lights, you assume somebody's pulled over.
Right.
Nope. So we get closer, and as we go by, we slow down a little bit. Traffic was heavy, so we weren't like hauling ass through there. Got 2 cop cars, 2 cops standing out front, and a shirtless guy wearing jeans in handcuffs on the side of Route 95 with no car to be seen. So
Pull over in a Schwinn.
we don't know if this guy was riding a bike,
There was a
walking.
road probably off 95 running parallel to it. There was probably a road that was probably like 30 or 40 feet from it. We don't know if he was like getting chased. Like,
Right.
We don't know what was going on.
He lost the race.
He clearly did not have a car.
Yeah, obviously, walking on the interstates is illegal, so he may have just been walking.
I assume
But,
he's not listening to this.
For me. Yeah, if he is, hey, I give you props. You made me laugh. But I'm a big Cops Live PD fan.
PT man.
So to see this guy getting arrested on the side of the highway, no shirt, no vehicle, I don't know. It just made
Felt
me
like
laugh.
you were part of an
So,
episode.
Yeah. So shout out to that guy. Wish you the best of luck, dude.
So my third star is the wind in Myrtle. I've never played in wind so tough. At one point, I had a par 5. I had 145 in. I pulled a 6-iron out, hit it as hard as I could. It's probably the best solid hit I've had. Came up 10 yards short in the water.
I thought it hit that one too.
Dude, no joke.
I thought I was going to spit that drink out there.
First, I was like,
Thought it hit it.
I was like, do I hit a 7? Because the wind was in our face a little bit, and I was like, do I hit a 7? Russ was like, no, another club, and I'm like, all right, I hit that 6, and I thought I hit it. I was like, all right, it's in center of green, like
Frozen
whatever.
rope to the water.
Dude. Oh my god, yeah. So the wind was it, and obviously I usually don't hit the ball high enough, but to worry about the wind, but it messed with me the entire 5 days we were down there.
It doesn't help that you cut the ball either, because if you cut, I'm not trying to be funny. If you
Oh,
get a cut,
Yeah,
That holds up worse than the wind.
I'll get in that later.
Okay. Sweet. I like that. All right. You said you have 5, so why don't you give us 2 more right now?
all right. So I have. Do I have 5? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I have 5 technically
Okay.
because I have the guy in here twice.
Give us whatever you want.
I'm gonna go with my man Trevor Bauer for 2 reasons. This is where it is
I had
on
it.
here twice.
I initially had him.
How about this dude on the spring training telling pitchers what's coming?
Batters.
They're batters. What's coming?
Yeah.
Telling them the pitch.
It's coming, man.
Hey, he
Throwing
said.
fastball.
He said if I tell them, then they can't steal them.
That's right. Great. And then the other reason is props to him for doing. I don't know if you guys saw. He did like a wiffle ball sandlot game. It had players mic'd up. Which, by the way, when baseball comes back, big fan of. I think baseball needs something different to kind of spice it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was kind of cool that some of these guys were mic'd up, and even if it's for an inning or two, not even the entire game, just kind of mic them up. And,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. So, yeah, Trevor Bauer, man, for just keeping it real and just telling guys hey, it's coming. Curveball.
I
Coming.
like it. We'll see if he does it whenever the regular season gets started.
That's right.
Well, I think the one guy he tipped a breaking ball to, and he hit it about 450.
Yeah.
So
Okay. All right. Second star. This was definitely more than a week ago. This is while we were in Myrtle, but I will get actually sports related here. Mika Zibanejad. He's a forward for the New York Rangers. That Saturday while we were in Myrtle, they played Washington, and Mika Zibanejad scored 5 goals in one game.
Jesus.
He scored 4 in regulation. I believe he scored 1 late to put him up by a goal, and then Ovechkin tied it.
right.
And then Zibanejad scored the game winner in overtime. So it's only happened 61 times in the history of the NHL. Even though 61 is a big number when you think about the entire history of the league.
It's crazy. There's a lot of games.
Yeah, 61 times by 45 different players. So there's quite a few that have actually done it multiple times.
Short list.
Back in the day. So he's only the 45th player, scored 5 goals in the game. And over the last the last 6 games, he actually has 11 goals. So he's been on one hell of a hot streak. But,
Yeah, that is.
But 5 goals in the game these days is unheard of.
Yep.
So
I would agree.
shout out to him for that.
So my second star is the Epic Flash.
Do you have people
One.
in your list?
Kind of.
Does
Epic
anybody
Flash.
have?
One.
Does anybody have like? You've been praying.
2 reasons. Russ, like we mentioned earlier, he could not miss his driver. It was unbelievable.
All right.
And my Epic Flash, first time I hit it, obviously just got it a few months ago. No Polish cut, baby.
What? Did you mess with the weights at all or anything?
Nope.
No. So he there were some of the trouble he got in down there was because he's used to aiming left and then he was hitting it straight.
Getting it straight.
So hitting it, straight left where he was aiming.
But by the last 2 rounds, I was just aiming down the middle. It felt good.
Picking up his tee and walking after it.
That's what led to that epic 89 at Oyster Bay.
I was a great ball striker like yourself. Shoot 89. It's easy. I missed an 8-footer on the last hole for 88. My next star is, I'm going to get a little sentimental here.
Okay.
It's actually the University of Vermont. I don't know if you guys saw this story. I think this actually kind of happened maybe while you were away. Josh Spidell was recruited by the University of Vermont to play basketball and was in a serious car crash before the season started.
Ooh.
He's one of the top-ranked players, I think, in his state at the time. And the Vermont coach actually visited him in the hospital and told his parents that he was still going to honor his scholarship. Awesome. And he graduated, and he got in on senior night and they traded buckets so he could score a bucket. But props to the University of Vermont in a day and today where it's just, the NCAA is big business, college is big business.
Yeah.
Props to that coach for, making that promise while the kid's laying in a hospital bed. He had a scholarship that he could have given to another kid easily, and he just.
Yeah.
So good for him, man. I hope
that's awesome.
Yeah. And actually, it was the kid that passed him the ball. They were friends growing up and played together, and I think they played a lot of AAU, so that was kind of like the plan.
Yeah.
And they ended up, that's kind of why we're going to go to the college together. So
That had been unbelievable to be there in person. See that.
yeah, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, but good for him, man, and props to the University of Vermont for sticking by and honoring his scholarship. Yeah.
Awesome. Nice.
You want me to go? My first star?
If you want to.
I'll go. So this is a combination between first Major League Baseball as a whole, and then Zion, Antetokounmpo, and all the players that have said that they would put up money for all the employees that have lost their jobs at arenas.
Yep.
I think the MLB, each team donated $1 million to every team did it, which I thought was impressive. Zion, I think, was most impressive. Obviously, a rookie.
Yeah.
Stepped up and said he would pay it entirely. He didn't give an amount. Most guys said they'd donate $100,000.
Yeah.
He said he would pay for the entire month.
Yep.
Which I thought was really impressive. And kind of a shout out in taking Mark Cuban out of this because he's done a lot as well. But a lot of these other owners, I don't know why they haven't stepped up. They're making a ton of money. I don't know why they haven't stepped up to.
I absolutely
to do
agree
some
with
money.
you, and you might have to fill me in on something here. The Zion thing wasn't really a big announcement by him, was it? He just did it. I believe Bleacher Report broke the story. He was one of the first ones.
Correct.
Yeah, I think he was one of the first ones to do
And
it.
Sam and Giannis, there wasn't like a big, like, holy cow, I'm going to do this.
I think there's been quite a few of these players that have stepped up and have done it in a way that they're not looking for the publicity.
So this is where I'm going with the story.
But it still leaks out.
Yeah, because I think like someone from the Lakers, Clippers, and LA Kings, they all donated money for. Obviously, you've got three teams playing there.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's where I'm going with this. I'm not trying to rain on the parade over there, but we know we're obviously in an odd situation, this whole like coronavirus thing.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool that Giannis stepped up, Mark Cuban stepped up. What kind of rubbed me the wrong way was Steph Curry, like, he made like a big production out of it, made this whole like video, and it's like, okay, dude, this isn't a great situation right now. And the fact these guys stepped up, like, please don't use it as an opportunity to put the limelight on yourself and pat yourself on the back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things like, do it.
Yeah.
Be humble about it. If people know about it, that's whatever. Or say, yeah, I'm going to do it. You didn't need to set up a video and post it to social media and get this extra pat on the back. So it is kind of, I mean, props to him for doing it. I don't have the money to do that like he can, but I feel like if it was me in that situation, I also would have went about it a different way, and I don't need a huge pat on the back.
Yeah,
I don't need to post a video
That's why
with my
I
wife
thought it
sitting
was
next to me.
that each MLB team donated $1 million, which I think every pro team should have done.
And
that.
I'm not even sure I even heard that.
Yeah,
like I think
so. Yeah, MLB as a whole donated $30 million, but each team donated
right
money.
I think part of the issue with some teams, there's been some teams that have not said this, and people have been kind of throwing them under the bus. But I think a lot.
We'll just say they haven't done it and just haven't announced it.
Well, the other thing is a lot of those teams, you have specifically in the NBA and NHL, where the owners don't own the arena. Therefore, the people that work for the arena,
correct,
You're 100%
are
correct.
not their employees to pay.
They're outsourced. Somebody else, like a third party, owns the beverage and food stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So in that case, I guess they could still step up and give some money, but ultimately it's not their employees. So that makes it a little trickier situation. But yeah, no, it's a good one. All right. My first star. Also on Route 95 on the way home.
Why wasn't I in this car?
Yeah, we had a blast.
So I was driving. I
didn't, by the way. The Arnold was canceled.
Yeah.
Thanks, coronavirus.
Yeah, goodness. So close to DC, or maybe right through DC. I don't know.
Yeah.
You got the highway going each direction, and in the middle they've got the Easy Pass express lanes.
Yep.
So depending on which way traffic is blocked up, they open these Easy Pass lanes. You can hop in for whatever, couple bucks, and I'm shocked that more people don't do it.
Yeah,
because
I used to have Easy Pass is the best.
Yeah, I mean, you're in these parts of it's 3 lanes, parts of it narrows down to 2. But
all I know is my Easy Pass got charged. I haven't looked, so I don't have no clue how much we charged.
It was his Easy Pass, so I was definitely taking it.
I think, Sam.
But you look over and there's nothing but taillights on the actual highway, and then
you're just whipping
the
through.
Easy Pass lanes are pretty open.
Because some of the highways have the newer Easy Pass where it's the arch. With the camera down.
That's what they had.
You don't slow down. You just
exactly.
That's what I had the Easy Pass like this.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I had to hold it up or not.
You also might be getting a ticket because it didn't register.
Nah, because I got a replenishment in my Easy Pass, so I assume it worked.
Gotcha. My star out of this story, though, we took a quick video clip. I don't know how good it was, but I believe it's Bowman. I'm not 100% sure.
I think that was it.
Bowman Charter Services had bus number 246, a full-on charter bus.
Oh, you guys sent me this video.
This guy was hauling ass.
Was there a number on the back, like, how's my driving?
Yeah, and they had their website and everything.
But you couldn't catch it to write the number down.
You're right.
The speed limit there is 70. I was doing between 77 and 80, and I could not pass this charter bus.
Speedometer had to be like,
Dude, I'm talking at some point we're going uphill and he's just cruising.
He was hammered. If there were passengers on that bus, they had to have been scared for their life. The way this guy was driving this bus.
He was flying.
I have never seen a bus driver.
Speedometer's topping out, just like flickering.
But hey, in the end, Russ caught him.
Oh yeah,
he trapped
passed him.
He trapped himself in. Russ took advantage.
I hate to say this twice in one podcast, but do you think you're playing with kids?
So to whoever was driving Bowman Charter Bus 246 on March 8th through DC, you're my hero.
Dude, he followed us a long way. He followed us a
He's
while.
probably thinking, "These guys are speeding. I'm going to follow."
Yeah, we're talking a good 20 miles. This wasn't like a quarter
Right.
mile where I couldn't get him. I mean, he had to have been pushing this bus 85.
Yeah, he
most
sent me
of
the
that
video. I
time.
had to watch like 3 times. I'm like, "Oh shit, that bus is hauling." That's why they sent me the video. Yeah. My next star is I'm going to go back a couple weeks. Wheelie Zhang and Joanna Jacek. One hell of a fight. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see that yet.
No, we saw. I mean, the pictures and highlights, but yeah, that happened while we were down there.
I saw. Well, Joanna looked like Mega Brain after it was
Yeah,
over.
she
She had a
did,
hematoma
yeah.
on her forehead,
Did you see those
No,
pictures?
I did not.
and then she posted a picture earlier this week.
We're gonna get his reaction live.
Yeah.
here.
Then she posted a picture earlier this week of her face is still like bruised. I thought it looked like someone did a really bad makeup job on her face. I'm serious. And she posted these pictures. I was like, holy cow, like it's still bruised. Her chest is like bruised. But props to those girls because they went out and nobody stopped coming forward. It looked like something out of like Looney Tunes where they just come to the middle and like you get the dust ball. Like these two girls just came forward. So there's some stats for you. 783 total strikes in 5 rounds. 783.
Is that like a? Obviously, I don't watch a ton of UFC. Is that like a close to a record?
I don't know, but
That's
I
a
believe
lot of
that,
punches.
that feels like a ton. I feel like when I watch
Strikes.
them, it might be like 120 around.
no,
I cannot.
120 rounds a lot.
You're
We're-
Polish. How do you spell Jacek?
Yeah. J check
He's
check mark.
Oh my God.
all right. Hold on, let me see if
Judge.
I think I followed
There
her.
it is.
You got it?
I already got it. I got her on.
Yeah. YAJAJACHEK.
I got it right here.
Here's a side by side. I got it.
Oh, you got side by side? Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh, I think I saw these. I mean, yeah, she's. I think there was a. Obviously, being at home the last week, I think that this was replayed on ESPN.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
So I think I was watching this. Yeah, she's messed.
Did you see the
Her chin initially, I don't know. Her chin looks off centered there.
Her chin.
It's because her
Well,
head was off center.
Well, yeah.
Forehead looks like she stuffed a basketball in there somehow.
Well, she may have.
No, that was like first round hematoma. All right, here, look at this.
Oh, so
yeah.
see, even though,
Oh, that one's even worse.
Wheelie
The other
Zhang
one-
got beat up. Yeah.
yeah, never saw that picture because the
Yep.
Joanna one was so bad.
So I want to find the
My goodness.
picture she posted like earlier this week. Right here.
Whoa.
That's bruising. That's not.
Oh my God.
She didn't fall in mud.
You should tell her it's not October 31st.
So yeah, that's her current situation.
Wow.
Everyone, and of course the media in the press conference is, what's next for Keely or Wheelie Zhang? And Dan was like, listen, I'm not thinking about either one of those girls fighting. I can't imagine how they feel right now.
Yeah, really.
But on a side note, I actually had Joanna win the fight, but Wheelie had the belt. It was that close.
Oh,
We
yeah.
know how that goes.
Yeah,
So you got to go out and beat the champ.
I remember when they first were talking about introducing women fighting in the UFC, and
Yeah.
everyone was so hesitant about it. But
Yeah.
man, they put on some of the best shows.
Yeah, they do.
now.
Absolutely do.
They leave nothing on the table.
And my last star, this from this previous weekend, Charles Oliveira. He submitted Kevin Lee.
I saw that one.
I'm going to get really candid for a minute. Kevin Lee,
He tried cheating.
you can leave the UFC, pal. Seriously. I hope they cut him. This guy is so, there's one thing to be a fighter and you have to be confident in what you do and you talk a little shit. This guy runs his mouth too much, claims he's going to be the guy that beats Khabib. He missed weight, gets choked out, taps out,
Oh,
and then after they let go,
He tried grabbing him.
tried to fight him still.
I was
So,
watching it. Yeah.
Lee's always been a bum in my book. I've never been a big fan. I think he just kind of he landed a lucky shot.
It wasn't. It was in his home. No. Oh, that was in Brazil, right?
Yeah, they fought
was in
Brazil.
Yeah.
I think he landed a lucky shot when he knocked out Gregor Gillespie. But, yeah, you're a bum, dude.
Yeah, 'cause-
I hope the UFC cuts him.
Yeah, because that happened so quick. Because even when I was watching it, and I was like, oh, I didn't know if he even tapped.
If
Because
you
obviously he
didn't-
was making a scene about it, and then
Yeah.
they replayed it.
He tapped,
He
clearly tapped.
like 5 or 6 times. Like it was
Yeah.
clear.
yeah. The camera angle live, the viewer couldn't tell. But yeah, when they showed the replay, it's like, no, that's the
If you didn't watch
definition.
any UFC and you met this guy, you think he was the greatest fighter that's ever lived.
Yeah.
Just listen to him talk.
Yeah.
And then, I've seen him on TV before. He's like, I just don't know why they don't give me the Khabib fight. I'm the guy that's going to beat Khabib. he's got so many holes in his game. I'm like, homie, you can't even make weight. How about
He
you
wasn't even
start there?
close either, was
Oh,
he?
like 3 pounds, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
That's job one. That's your only job, really.
Yes.
It really is. Just
Yep.
make weight. So
Russ, you got any honorable mentions?
I'm out of stars, by the way.
I got
so.
Let
Let me check my notes real quick.
I got 2 honorable mentions also on 95 on the way home.
Okay. Oh, I know where you're going with this, but no, you can go ahead.
I guess we'll do a combination. Just people around DC driving. One guy we saw digging for gold heavily,
Oh man.
like hardcore.
2 knuckles in.
Oh my God. Yeah.
He was deep.
He was itching his brain. Dude.
Testing himself for the flu.
Yeah.
And then we had a horse jockey fart can.
I'm gonna need some elaboration on this.
Russ, there's this guy driving an Acura with a
The classic fart
pimped
can
out-
on the back. Too.
pimped out muffler on
Oh.
the back, and Russ makes a comment. He goes, that horse jockey could sleep in that fart can.
Dude, this Acura Integra, which is a small car, and I think he was on a booster seat over the friggin' steering wheel. I don't know how he was touching the steering wheel and the gas pedal at the same
He
time.
was kept trying to pass us and stuff. And then there was a Supra.
Yeah,
As
one-
we're in the
One of
express
the new
lanes,
Supras.
Oh,
as we're in the express lane, he keeps gassing it and getting by, but have to slow down. So Russ is just cruising, and he
Just keep
keeps coming
waving
up
to him on the way by.
He keeps coming up next to us. I bet you, like, I don't know, 8, 9 times he
Yeah.
was like kind of next to us. Obviously, the barrier was between
I'm
us.
like, this
but-
guy's in 3 lanes of heavy traffic. I'm in the express lane, open lanes. Like,
And
does this guy-
there was literally nobody in the express lanes.
and he felt like he wanted to race us or something. I don't know.
got a super bro.
And we're in his Kia SUV, by the way, which screams, "Hey, let's road race."
Yeah.
Hey, we got good gas mileage on the way down.
Admittedly, we spent a lot less gas money on this trip taking his SUV than
Yeah?
our usual Hemis. But
Best gas mileage I ever got was when gas was like super expensive. We took Travis's Honda Civic. I mean, gas was almost $4 a gallon at this point.
Oh,
yeah,
we took his
That was,
we took his Honda Civic to Hilton Head. We spent less than $100 in gas.
nice.
I think we only spent like 130.
Yeah.
Down in the Myrtle area, gas was only like $2.05.
Oh,
it was
really?
almost under $2.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
been a while since we've seen that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
All right, boys. You got anything else? Anything else you want to touch on? Feel on?
not really.
I'm actually. We've been talking about doing this one because we had to get the whole Myrtle thing.
Yeah.
It might not hit home for a lot of people, other than like people who know us, which I really don't care. I just enjoy the shit.
Yeah.
But I am pumped for the next one. The next one will be pretty much football and the free agency,
Yep. Got a lot
and
going on already.
I am pumped for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we
there's one signing I can't mention on the air that I'm pretty excited for, and I'll give you the details off air.
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right.
Getting me
Excuse me.
excited.
You getting any on you? At least you didn't shit your pants.
That was
No, that was before,
before
the pod.
we started.
Yeah.